Sunday, Konstantin aka Mr. B back on another Sunday. Alright guys, I'm honest, it's not my best day, it's my last day of my vacations, so let's just do today a quick video about my 5 favorite divers between 100 to 10,000 euros. Alright guys, let's go. So let's start with the first diver in the around 100 to 300 euro level, and of course it's a SKX. But before you write in the comments, how dare you, again an SKX, how could you prefer the turtle? I did, but I sold my turtle. I haven't told you that, right? I sold it, and I'm going to get actually an SKX, a modded one. So stay tuned for that, it's going to come next week, hopefully, about. It is the SKX 009, blue dial, Pepsi bezel, but not Pepsi bezel, so I changed the bezel type, I changed the bezel inlay. It is going to be a ceramic one. I'm going to add sapphire crystal to it, a flat one with blue anti-reflective coating. It got a coined edge bezel, it's going to get sword hands. And I think it's going to be awesome. Really, really look forward to receive this piece. So to me, the SKX, it's a classic. It's the Seiko classic, and the beef I have had with my turtle, especially on the strap coat Super Jubilee, it was sort of too heavy for me. It wasn't too big. I have 18.5 centimeter wrists, but it was a slight too heavy, and I decided to sell it and to get an SKX. I have had a similar modded SKX in black on my wrist from my good friend Markus Uhrenratgeber, aka Sakanigiri, and I was blown away. I do like this shitty Seiko standard Jubilee bracelet because it's damn comfortable. It has a little bit bling. It's really stretched out, but it's a beautiful watch, and especially in the modifications or in the modded version. I think it adds perfectly to my current collection. So stay tuned for that, and yes, it's my first pick, Seiko SKX. You can't get wrong with that watch. Okay, watch number 2 we are going to talk about, and it's a brand which is actually new to me. I knew about that brand, but I haven't had it on my mind. I just recently stumbled over it, and it is actually the Mark & Sons 500 meter diver. Mark & Sons is a brand who is, I think, most known for producing sort of Rolex submarine homages. Nevertheless, this diver really is awesome. Got 500 meter water resistance, 44.5 millimeter case, beautiful blue and a middle blue ceramic bezel inlay. A grey, dark grey sunburst dial, and in this combination really a stunning watch, really beautiful. I could try it on the steel bracelet, and it was really comfortable. I use it, again, the glide lock system. I know it's from Rolex, but it's how you can describe it the best, or how I can describe it the best in English. And it's actually a decent watch, it's a beautiful watch, was very comfortable. The dial is a little bit smaller because it has this chapter ring. Anyhow, it's a very balanced watch, and I was blown away from the quality. And you can pick up this Mark & Sons on the NATO for about 416 euros or 416 US. This is a lot of watch for that money. You have to consider you've got the 2824/2 ETA movement inside, ceramic bezel, sunburst dial, real good Super Luminova. It's comfortable. It isn't a typical Rolex Submariner clone. It's a little bit different, and I really like the quality and how it felt on my wrist. Markus Uhrenratgeber Sakanigiri, he has his English channel named Sakanigiri. He's going to do pretty soon, I guess, a review of that watch. So beautiful piece. You should consider in the price point of about 400 to 550 euro, depending whether you have the steel bracelet or the NATO bracelet, and ceramic diver about that money. Pretty good deal, I would say. Watch number 3, between about 1,000 to 2,000 euros, is the Corazon Del Mar. I have had this watch in my review, I think 2 weeks ago, and I was blown away. The level of manufacturing here in Germany is big. They do produce a dial here in Germany. They built together the case, they set the pearls on the rotor, they do fill it with argon, the case with argon gas afterwards. You have an indicator whether there is water or humidity in the case with the cabochon pearl, which is put on the rotor actually. It is a very, very well designed watch. It's really well made. You do have ceramic inlay in the bezel and on the flanks of the watch. And I was, when I held the watch the first time in my hands, really blown away. It sports a classical Sellita movement with date application, hacking second, manual windable in the top version. And it's a great watch. It sits comfortable on the wrist. You can purchase this on straps, on bracelets. You can have different configurations. You can chat with Markus and special wishes fulfilled there. So it is a great package. It's something different than the standard Tag Heuer Aqua Racer, Norris Aquis, even than the Tudor. It's really competitive from my point of view, and I did like and do like this piece a lot. It's not the classical diver, but still you can get it with a loomed up ceramic bezel as well. And I'm going to get actually beginning of next year the totally blacked out PVD version, the Stealth. It's a beautiful looking piece, and yeah, the Cross de Mar is an interesting alternative to all the divers which are on the market right now, and that I think overall a great piece. So yeah, it's my pick number 3 in between 1,000 and 2,000 euros. Number 4, actually the watch which I think is one of the most underappreciated watches here on the market. And we do talk here about the Omega Planet Ocean, Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean 43.5 millimeter, 600 meter water resistance, as mentioned, 43.5 millimeter case. A little bit on the higher side, 21 millimeter lux, but I would prefer wearing it on a bracelet or on an original rubber strap, so not a big beef with that. It's okay, it's actually a very, very balanced case and bracelet. So the proportions from my point of view are chosen very well or made very well. And you get a lot. 600 meter water resistance. Ceramic dial, ceramic bezel, great in-house movement. Is it already Meta? I will add it somewhere there. So yeah, really great in-house movement, and I have had them a couple of times on the wrist. You can get this watch between 4,500 to 5,600, 5,600 stock new directly from Omega. Grey market, I think it's for 5,000 euros. Brand spanking new from the Grey dealer, and it's a good deal. I think it's a decent watch. The history is there, the movement is there, the quality is there. So overall a great watch. I really do like and I really do appreciate. So yeah, of course, place number 4 goes to the Omega Planet Ocean. And now we're going to discuss my place number 5, the last watch of my favorite divers. Well, I said 100 to 10,000 euro. It isn't exactly 10,000 euro. It is, wait, give me a second, 10,350 euros, brand spanking new from your watch dealer. We do talk about the Rolex Sea Dweller 43 millimeter, 1,220 meter water resistance. And I did think about a lot whether I should include a Rolex. I didn't want to include the regular Submariner. The Deep Sea, I have it both on my wrist. I have it the 43 millimeter version and I have it the Deep Sea on my wrist. The Deep Sea, even though it's just 1 millimeter bigger, due to the height and due to the bracelet, which really gets really thin in the clasp area, I didn't feel it. I like the idea behind the Deep Sea. I like what they did realize, but it wasn't my cup of tea. I just didn't feel comfortable on my wrist. And the Sea Dweller 40 millimeter, the predecessor of the 43 millimeter version, the balance wasn't there. Yeah, they tried to make it a little bit more than the older cases, but it was 40 millimeter and it was thick, so it wasn't that balanced. And with the 43 millimeters, what they did there was actually that they increased the diameter and the balance is perfectly fine. It was so comfortable. It doesn't feel too high as the predecessor, the 40mm C dweller did, and it's an overall great package. You have the history there. Well, okay, they added the Cyclops on the date, but I really don't have a beef with it. And it's the first Rolex since centuries, since ages, from the sport model line, where they actually did add the red lining, and this is something special. And I do think the C dweller is special, as it's hard to get. You have a waiting list there and the regular IDs, and yeah, it's just a beautiful, very well balanced watch. It's not the typical Submariner or the typical Rolex sport model. It's just up there and a little bit different than the others. Of course, I could have also chosen a Jaeger-LeCoultre, or I was thinking about before about the Blancpain Bathyscaphe, but I have it on my wrist. I like the Bathyscaphe. The movement is a little bit more delicate. It's a great movement, but it's a little bit more delicate. The C dweller, I wouldn't mind to rock the C dweller and jump with it into the sea and use it for playing golf or whatsoever. The Bathyscaphe, I would be a little bit more, I would treat it a little bit more different. It is, I think, in terms of craftsmanship, a better movement than the Rolex movement in terms of the manufacturing details. You will grill me for this, will you, right? But this is my top 5, so yeah, deal with that. So the C dweller is just the best balance of sport model, but not typical sport model, robust, everyday carry, but still luxury watch. Sort of. Alright guys, this concludes my top 5. This concludes my top 5 dive watch video. Of course, these are my top 5. So I'm eager to hear about your top 5 dive watches in the 100 to 10,000 euro level. What are your thoughts about my picks? As mentioned before, it's just my preference, so feel free to leave a comment and discuss this topic a little bit. I hope you did enjoy this video, and I'd like to wish all of you now a very happy Sunday afternoon, a good start into the new week. I do look forward to see you in the next one. Say goodbye and auf Wiedersehen. Euer Konstantin. Ciao guys.